Okay, so my name is Charmian Redwood, and what I have developed is a way of using hypnosis, which includes connection to the divine soul self with past life regression, with forward progression into the future. So what I do with people, it's like a roadmap. First, I take them to experience themselves as divine, pure essence, as soul, as higher self. And then when we have that experience, and then that part of yourself that is your divine essence, who knows everything about you, past, present, future, who you are, why you're here, that part of you then is able to communicate directly to you, and you are speaking as your soul to your ego personality self. So for most people, that's a completely mind-expanding experience when you realize how powerful you are, how many resources you have in terms of creating your own reality. Then it really shifts your perspective on what you're doing here. So the next thing is that we bring that God self, divine self, into the physical body as a light. As usually people see it as a golden light body. And we let that infuse into the physical body. And then we look at where is it being resisted. Where are the programs being held? Where are the negative emotions being held? It's often around the organs, the heart, the lungs, the liver. Anger is stored in the liver. So then we release all of that stuck energy. And we look at, if you have any issues in your life, we look at what is the cause of them. And it's the soul or the divine self that guides the whole session. So say you have an issue to do with relationship, that you're not able to have a positive relationship that actually works, then we will go into what was the original cause of that, which may take us into past life regression, quite often does. And then, or it could be childhood. So then we work with that energy. Basically, we are calling forth the wounded aspects of ourselves that we carry within us for millions of lifetimes, even stuff from way, 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 way back. We're carrying imprints of everything that has ever happened to us. So every trauma that we have experienced in the hundreds of thousands of incarnations that we've been here has an imprint on our body. And together they set up a life view about what your expectations are about being in a physical body on this earth at this time. Life sucks, relationships suck, money is hard, life is hard, I don't deserve, all of that stuff. So there's like an accumulation of trauma that is totally conditioning your life experience. Everything that you have a belief about is going to show up in your physical life. And a lot of these beliefs, traumas, buttons that we have are, in fact, I'd say most of them are actually nothing to do with this lifetime. We have contracts with people from other lives where we have issues that were not resolved. So they show up in this life, and pretty much you replay the same scenario. One's the master, one's the slave, one's the controller, one's the victim, all of that kind of stuff. And we think we're doing it for the first time. But believe me, every single person that is in your life is there because you have either some unfinished business, or you have something to do here together in this life. So then we clear all of that out. And then, now that the soul is in the body, I ask the soul, so how do you want to be expressed in this person's life? Because when you make that connection to your soul essence and you feel that connection and you have the communication, then it does completely change the way your life is being directed. So then we go into the future, and that's where the progression comes in. We look at what your life is going to look like in 1, 5, 10 years' time, when your soul is much more present consciously in the body than it is now. And then when we see that, what it looks like, and then I ask that future self, how did this person get from where they are now to where you are? So then they give them the steps, and so that's when you find out what you need to do, how you need to make changes in your life, even if you need to take a class or learn a new skill or change your occupation. So doing this work for over 30 years now, I've worked with thousands of people, and I just can't tell you how life-altering it is. This is what people say to me. And it's nothing to do with me. It's when you realize that I am not this small body, that I am this enormous, powerful, creative being, and I can do anything I want with my life. And nobody is going to tell me different. So people just start to empower themselves. And that is really why I do this work, because I want people to get the answers that they need from themselves, not me telling them. I could do readings for people, but I would much rather guide them to get their own answers, because then it's totally authentic to them. It's not just me telling them, you need to do this, that, or you're going to be doing this, that. It's them actually experiencing it. So it completely shifts the way people feel about themselves, about their family situation, their work situation. Often it's a health issue that brings them to me, and we look at why has your soul created this. It's never random. Nothing is just victim that you're being punished. You're never being punished for anything. You are experiencing something that your soul wishes you to learn from. So if we're not listening, if we're not hearing what our soul is trying to gently say to us, then we get hit with much bigger things, like a life-threatening illness or a divorce or something that literally stops our world and makes us pay attention. So this is what I've been doing now for a long time, and I'm just so honoured to be able to do it. Yeah. So I do these sessions on video conferencing. I use either Skype or Zoom, so I can do them at any time, anywhere in the world. And I also do them in Oxnard, which is very close to Los Angeles, in person, which is where I live. I can also do them on the phone. You don't have to have a computer. Just with the computer we can see each other, but apart from that it really doesn't make any difference. We record the session, I send you the recording, or if we're on Zoom and you're on a laptop you can record it directly, and then you use that session as a meditation to reinforce everything that we've just brought in the session. So the session brings in the information, it's an activation, very much a vibrational shift, but then listening to it repeatedly is what helps to ground all of those new frequencies into your mental and emotional bodies. So one of the ways that you can find out about my work is if you look at my YouTube channel, Charmian Redwood, you will see some sessions on there, and this will give you an idea. And every session is different. This is why my work is so exciting to me, because it's an odyssey that we start off with some idea, because we've talked before about where you want to go, but the things that come up are just mind-blowing. We go to different star systems, we go back to ancient civilizations. Some people go under the water when we were all mer people, so it's very it's always different. Everybody's session is different, but that will give you an idea of the kind of the outline, the framework.